Hi, everybody. This is Dan Stolberg. Welcome to this week's update. And it's the week of October 24th. We're going to look back upon the events of this week. Just a reminder, you can get the PDF PowerPoint that accompanies this. There should be a link right on the YouTube page. Bottom line is that we keep waiting for the shoe to drop, in a sense. And I think the world is collectively holding its breath to find out when will Israel retaliate in some way to Iran. And so you kind of keep putting things off, believing that it could happen at any time. But as of right now, it has not happened. And so we're going to jump right in and look back on this week. Let me say this first, that it's Thursday here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and Sharon and I will be leaving on Monday for about a month to go to Israel. While we're gone, there won't be a video presentation, but there will be a PowerPoint presentation. We just find it too hard to record and upload while we're in Israel. But we will try our best to keep you completely updated from the land. All right, our news bites this week. We begin with the death of Sinwar. There are those that are very concerned that Hamas could begin killing the hostages to avenge their slain leader. There's word that Sinwar left the message in so many words that if anybody takes him out, that Hamas needs to systematically kill all the hostages. And so, again, wait and see. We have no idea. It sort of reminds me of when King Herod, who built his tomb, in a sense, in Herodian, gave word to his followers that whenever he dies, they're to kill just the vast amount of people that he had sort of on his list. And again, they had to determine whether or not they would afterwards. And I think that's the same boat Hamas is in right now. Sinwar is gone. What are we going to do? Of course, we continue. As you can see, I still, to this day, wear my tags or bring them home. And I know recently, back on my Facebook page, I hope we can never forget. I mean, after all, as we've gone through Rosh Hashanah, as we've gone through the Days of Awe, as we've gone through Yom Kippur, and now, Simchat Torah, really the anniversary of the invasion from Gaza. Let's never forget the hostages in the midst of all this and pray for their safe return. Well, as you all know by now, probably, that there was an assassination attempt. Hezbollah had sent a drone that actually hit Bibi Netanyahu's home in Caesarea. And of course, Israel's not taking this lightly. Vice President Harris, I don't know if you saw this article, says to a heckler who calls Israel genocidal, talking about real things, she makes that comment, wait, they're taking him out, but what he's got to say is really important. These are real things. This has gotten her in some hot water. Again, a broken trust between Israel and the U.S. Where does the Biden/Harris administration side stand, I guess you would say? And then later in another rally, somebody shouted out, "Jesus is Lord." And Kamala said to that person, "I think you're at the wrong rally." Again, I can't make this stuff up. That's what's transpiring as things continue to ramp up and the mudslinging's happening before the U.S. elections. Hezbollah terrorists who were captured as part of the IDF's ground operations in southern Lebanon testified in their investigations that Hezbollah had paid UNIFIL money to get information as far as Israeli positions. And so, again, just like UNRWA, Hamas-based humanitarian aid, right? UNIFIL cannot be trusted whatsoever. And then you can rest assured that Biden will be actively, I love this quote. This is from John Kirby because this has to do with the leak that Israel's accusing the U.S. of, and we have it in a further article today. We'll talk about it in a little bit more detail, but this was the quote from John Kirby. He says, "You can rest assured that he," that's Joe Biden, "will actively monitor the process of this investigative effort to figure out how in the world this leak could happen." Really? I'm sure that's going to be a deep dive study. Huh? And then Marco Rubio just came out and said, bottom line, what took place with this leak is an act of treason. For the 11th time, Anthony Blinken has arrived in Israel this week, seeking once again to cobble together some sort of ceasefire, some sort of a hostage return. And I think there's one last gasp effort of this administration to try to make something happen over the next, before the actual elections in the U.S. And then Israel has systematically been taking out leaders, both in Hamas, as you know, with Sinwar, also in Hezbollah with Nasrallah. And an official announcement from Hezbollah confirms the assassination of Nasrallah's successor. So again, if you're tapped on the shoulder in any of these terrorist organizations and say, good news, you've been promoted, I'm not sure you should accept that promotion. Okay, our articles. Now we're going to jump into what I was referring to with that Biden-Harris link. The media has been filled with anonymous leaks and quotes from Biden-Harris administration regarding Israel's attack or their attack plans on Iran. Again, it's all too obvious that these leaks were deliberate and orchestrated. And now, apparently there's evidence of materials being passed on to Iran. And this is most likely what's caused the delay. And not only just a delay from Israel doing this, but furthering the complete broken trust between Bibi Netanyahu and the Harris-Biden administration. So, again, it's happened on our watch on this day, and we'll wait and see, because it sure seems to me, I don't know about you, but the Biden and Harris administration, not so much anymore slowly, but moving further and further away from Israel. And again, that's what this delay is about. I have an article here that says because of that leak, Israel's been forced to delay this retaliatory attack on Iran. According to the reports that I've read, unnamed intelligence source with knowledge of Israeli deliberations, this is from the Times of Israel, said that Israel's worried that even though no potential targets were named in the leak, the details provided could help Iran predict certain patterns of attack. So the Times of Israel has stated that Israel is now working on an alternative plan, but needs war games before it can proceed. You know, and this is my opinion. This is as I see it. The closer we get to the election, and that sand is running out of the hourglass rapidly at this time, I think the less likely a major strike takes place from Israel. They may do something. In the Middle East, you have to save face. You have to return might when you're struck. But I think whatever the big thing is, the big episode, my gut tells me that will be post-election. That will be sometime between after the election and January 1st, when whoever's the president takes office. So I think we're moving into even more troubled times than we've been in the previous year and a half now. Hostage deals. There's some photos here. Again, that's why I say make sure you grab that PDF PowerPoint. We can't forget them. At the moment, it appears, with Blinken here, that Israel is simultaneously engaged in two distinct efforts to secure the release of hostages still held by Hamas. One proposed deal that I've heard of could lead to the release of 5 hostages in exchange for a ceasefire that would last 2 weeks. I've also heard that of those 5 that were released, because Russia has jumped into the fray here, that 2 of those 5 would be hostages of Russian descent. So we're still at this point in time on Thursday morning waiting to see what's going to transpire there. And then the defense minister, Gallant, has sort of doubled down. This is the epitome of saber rattling. Doubled down on the seriousness of Israel's plan to respond to Iran. While visiting an Air Force base, Gallant told the pilots and air crews, and here's his quote, "After we strike in Iran, everyone will understand what you did in the preparation and the training process." His words underscore the gravity of the situation, and they signal the imminent possibility of a military action against Iran and its proxies. Gallant's statement comes as Israel continues to prepare for this retaliation of the ballistic missile attack on October 1st, which sent most of Israel into bomb shelters. I mean, this is a major threat. How much will Israel do? And those are the looming questions that are out there. Is this a threat for the oil fields? Is it a threat to the nuclear capabilities, the missile sites, or whatever? But you can bet that the midnight oil is burning in Tehran 24/7, wondering when it's going to happen and what's next. And they don't help themselves. This is the last article I think we have here that I say that Iran speaks. As you can see in the photo, these are a massive banner that's in the middle of Tehran. So in case it wasn't clear who was really behind this regional war, the Islamic regime in Iran just clarified it for the whole world to see. They hung this banner with the faces of Israeli hostages splattered in blood that were kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. And they say literally, the writing there says, "No hostages will be released." And again, that's right in the middle of Tehran. So if you want to know, there's your proof. So we'll end with this. As I mentioned before, Sharon and I are taking off. We appreciate your prayers. We are very grateful and thankful for all of you who have really supported us and supported the efforts of Holy Ground to stand with Israel. Many of you have contributed financially and trusted us to kind of walk the land and be available to whatever the Lord puts in front of us in terms of helping relief and aid. We have many ministries in Israel that we're confident in. We've vetted them. We know that they're trustworthy. And so many of the resources that you've given us, we're blessed to be able to go over to the land and distribute them. Again, my dear friend in Jerusalem, a Messianic believer, said these words to me the last time we were in Israel in February. She said, Dan, Israel doesn't need visitors at this time. Israel needs friends. And so, as a friend to Israel, we'll be leaving on Monday, and we're taking a small group with us. And our return date, Sharon and I's return date, will be close to Thanksgiving. So we appreciate your prayers, that the Lord would guide us, that he would create those divine appointments that he has in mind, and that he would keep his dome, his glorious heavenly dome over us and protect us. So God bless you and shalom. And remember, no videos for about a month, but I will be sending out a PDF. And if you only get this on YouTube, you need to sign up for our Kafir Bible study group that you can go to our website at holygroundexploration.com and look for Kafir as a link and sign up. That's where the PowerPoint will be mailed to each week, those people that are subscribed there. Again, it's absolutely free. And again, holygroundexplorations.com, and sign up for Kafir small groups. With that, God bless you and shalom.